Hey, what do you say? I almost put on a tuxedo t-shirt for this event. It is the second annual Runny Awards show brought to you by Figure Collections. Hit up shop.figurecollections.com. Use the code RUN10 to save 10% on anything on that store. My name is Tommy Paradise.
It's showtime, folks. It's your boy DJ. And yeah, I almost did the exact same. I was thinking that exact same thing with the t-shirt. I just could not get it in time. But yeah, it is that time. It's time for the Runnies, baby.
Time for the Runnies. And for the Runnies, we brought in a correspondent, special guest host this week. He's sick as a dog, but he looks great. Mike Lanham. What's up, man? Happy New Year.
Can you believe it? 2022 is almost over.
Thank God.
If you guys had done the tuxedo shirts, do you do the Sports Center thing where they're just wearing like basketball shorts, like from waist down? They're totally not dressed up.
90% of the time I'm wearing shorts while we're recording anyway. So
same.
So that wouldn't have made a difference, but well, you know, what can you do? But yes, the run-in is brought to you by Figure Collections, shop.figurecollections.com. By the way, Jack from Figure Collections has sent me some pictures of the soon-to-be available, well, soon-to-be shipping, I guess is what we would say, Luna Vachon figure, retro. And it looks great. Should be coming very soon. I'm not going to give a time frame. I was going to give a time frame, but that's dangerous. I'm not going to do that. So very special edition of the show tonight. It is the Runnies. We're going to go through our Runny Awards. And then the part of the reason why we have Mike on is he went through all of our bold predictions from last year, and he's going to tell us how wrong we were on all of them. And then we will give our bold predictions for 2023. I've got some good ones. Ready to go. So all right. It is the weirdest week of the year, though, with eating and like just living. I'm on vacation all week. DJ, you're off all week too, right?
Yeah. I mean, technically I'm not, but everybody else went on vacation, so that kind of de facto made me on vacation. So hey, as long as they give me a check for this week, I'm good.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mike, are you off? What are you doing?
Never. Always working.
Always working. That's right. The hardest working man in retail, Mike Lanham.
He's like Palomalu.
Yeah,
never not working.
I've been eating like shit. I cannot wait till January 3rd so I can start eating right again. But yeah, it's been a rough week. Kid had a hockey tournament this week, so like we've been on the road back and forth, about 45 minutes away, and then we're going up to Boston for the Winter Classic. So of course I'm gonna eat like shit at the Winter Classic. Got it. Mm-hmm. Got it. But anyway,
everything's fried.
Let's get right. You know what? It's not even everything fried for me. Sorry, on a tangent here. It's like chips and like ice cream. Chips and ice cream are the two big ones that get me every time.
Chips and ice
cream.
I mean,
it's an outdoor game. It's different. Like it's going to be cold, but it's like the length of those games is not the same as a normal game.
Right.
Because you got to have all the pomp and circumstance and all that. Like they got to add to it. So you'll be there probably an hour longer than normal, plus the parking situation, however that.
No, Boston. Well, for Fenway, I'm a pro at getting in and out of Fenway. I find a parking spot literally on the street. For you, nine times out of 10, I will find a parking spot on the street, and it's like $6 for the meter. And then it's like 2 or 3 blocks from Fenway. There's a beautiful little Chinese restaurant that is amazing. That is right next to where we park. It's like this little hole in the wall. It is some of the best Chinese food I've ever had. And the reason, and you know it's good because there's always Asians in there eating. That's how you know it's good Chinese food. It's just an observation.
The word China's in the title.
Yeah, well, it's the Beijing Cafe.
Oh,
is the name of it. Shout out to Beijing Cafe in Cambridge, Mass. But the kid is all excited for that too. But yeah, I'll probably pound a couple Fenway Franks while we're actually at the game. So, hell yeah, gotta have that. But yeah, and then some Beijing Cafe on the way home. So Yeah, we're looking forward to it though. Me and the boy, he was over the moon to get tickets. So maybe I'll post some pictures and some video and stuff up on our social medias. But all right, let's get to it. Let's do the Runnies. You guys voted over on runninpod.com, and let's get through it. And we'll kind of give some analysis of what we think of the votes. We'll start from the bottom up. We'll start with Independent Toy Line of the Year. The nominees were Cella Uncensored, Major Bendy's, Cella Wrestling Megastars, which are the retros, and Zombie Sailor Heels and Faces. Now, we did have one write-in this category, Power Town. I don't know how you could vote for Power Town. They got one vote. I don't know how you could vote for Power Town when they haven't released an actual figure yet. It was literally just pre-orders of renders. So we'll throw that vote out the window. So in let's say here 1, 2, 3, 4. In fourth place, it was actually a tie between Cella Uncensored and Cella Wrestling Megastars with 20% of the vote. That actually surprised me. I thought Cella Wrestling Megastars, the retros, would get more of the vote, and they were winning for most of the week up until today. And Major Bendy's pulled ahead of them at 25% of the vote. And Zombie Sailor is the winner of the 2022 Independent Toy Line of the Year award. Runny, Zombie Sailor Heels and Faces. Thoughts on this, guys?
Well, I can see how because Uncensored, like right at the bell here, they
You're right.
they came out with that Dynamite Kid. So I knew they would get a surge of votes there. But I mean, the Heels and Faces, like they've put out probably the most we'll say kind of consistent.
Two waves, right?
Yeah.
2 waves or one wave?
No,
one wave.
One
wave.
One and then the Comic-Con exclusive.
Yes. Yeah.
All
so
right.
One Wave and Jeff Jarrett, right? Because Danhausen hasn't come out yet, right?
Right.
So yeah, even that. I mean, that's Cello.
Because
I'm
I'm like,
Megastars is kind of the same. It's like the Cellos, they've put out more, and they've gotten better as they've gone along. In my opinion, I think they've gotten better.
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, and that Series 2 Zombie Sailor is definitely looking a lot better than Series 1. Like I like the Dino Bravo, but like outside of that, it's just the Jeff Jarrett for me. So I mean, I have them all, but I didn't pre-order any of Series 2. I'll probably grab them when someone's selling theirs off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to pay and then wait probably a year to get them.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't pre-order any of Series 2 either. I just went with Series 1, Jarrett, and then I'm going to pick and choose here for the next few. Yeah, although the more I see that Andre, the more I'm like, maybe I should get that Andre.
I do like both of them. So, but I mean, supposedly we may see those in the spring. I don't know. We still don't have Danhausen. That's rumored to be February. So,
yep.
But yeah, the Jeff Jarrett came in kind of there late, but that was a good figure. But that Dynamite Kid I thought was really well done for the Uncensored.
Yeah,
like DJ said, a little last minute. But I mean, a lot of these guys kind of got into the retro game kind of last minute or after the boom had started with the Mattel retros, and then they kind of had to announce them and then slowly get them out. So
yep. Yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting for next year because we'll have all of these, including Power Town. Yep. We'll have more of the Cello Uncensored. We'll have Hastel. We'll have Asylum figures. We'll have the Remcos that are coming back allegedly, and then we'll have I said Hastel. There's one more. Oh, Rush. Rush will have stuff out. So
and then like the Rush ones for the ones I've seen look all right. They're way cheaper, which kind of scares me. So
yep. Yeah. And then next category was Toy Line of the Year. There was quite a few here. So we'll just go with the ones that got the votes. There was no write-ins here. There was. Somebody put, but it just says option 14. And then nobody voted for it. So I don't know what happened there. That could have been me. So the ones that got votes, we'll start with last place. 5% of the vote, Hasbro Marvel Legends. 5% of the vote, Star Wars Black Series. 5% of the vote, WWE Superstars line. Then we go to, let's let's see here, 10% of the vote for AEW Supreme. It's another one that came in hot at the end of the year. Mattel, and then 15% for Mattel Creations WWE exclusives. And then the winner was 60% of the vote, WWE Mattel Ultimate Editions. I don't think that's a huge surprise.
Yeah.
One thing that did surprise me was that there was no vote for WWE ringside exclusives, because I think they really did, with the exception of Cameron Grimes and that Undertaker, I think they did a really good job of the ringside exclusives this year. You had the Mega Powers 2-pack, you had, which I think everybody went nuts for. You had the blood, well, that's AEW, never mind. You had the Hollywood Hogan, you had the Cactus Jack. There was some really good, in my opinion, ringside collectibles, but it's just so hard to beat the Ultimate Editions right now.
You didn't like the Cameron Grimes?
I mean, it just didn't fit in my collection. I think the figure overall was actually really well done.
Yeah. Well, that and the Ciampa, I thought both of those looked good, but like you said, they don't fit in certain collections unless you're a completist or NXT or the ringside ones. But yeah, like that Undertaker, the strap coming down was cool, but like it's kind of a one-off figure. I maybe buy two when they were cheap to have two belts, but but I get the ultimate things. I mean, Mattel Creations had its own exclusive ultimates and the retros and stuff like that, so I'm kind of surprised it wasn't a little bit closer.
Same, and I'm actually surprised that AEW ringside exclusive Blood and Guts didn't get any votes, because that's such a unique line.
I mean, how long is that? I mean, which one came out this year? Just the...
Was it the Brit and the Thunder Rosa?
Isn't the It's the
Brit
and the Kenny Omega, Punk, right?
No, Kenny Omega,
Moxley.
Yeah, Moxley, right?
Okay. Oh, the exploding
ring. The exploding ring.
Is the Brit this year? Has that been out for more than a year?
That I don't know.
It had to be really close.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Yeah, so I mean, I know that Thunder Rosa, like another figure last second.
So let's see what Wrestling Collector database.
And it's crazy that we have a source for that,
right?
Telling you these things. So I mean, those exclusives, the blood thing is a smart way to go with that. And
because
I know we talked about, or Phil and Nick talked about it on the Fig Cave, about that Cactus Jack having like the indentions on the back from the thumbtacks, hoping maybe that'll have blood, but we'll see.
So according to WrestlingFigureDatabase.com, it says 2022 AEW Jazzwares Unrivaled Collection ringside exclusive Blood and Guts Lights Out match, Dr. Britt Baker. So who knows?
Then maybe it was right at the beginning.
Yeah. That is the only line I think I would like that I've considered collecting for AEW figures, because it's so unique. I wish they would do a WWE one.
Yeah, you don't have to bust it open too much. Let's see what happens with that. But going back to Ultimates, it's just like, you get a quality figure and you're starting to, they made it to where you're finding them a whole lot more easier. Like, we're finding them easier now. So I can see how they got a lot of votes there.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, even like the Mr. T that sat on the pegs for so long was like just such a well done figure. But that was it for our toy categories. Now we move on to the actual wrestling categories. We're leaving the majority of the figure of the year and stuff like that. We're leaving that to Phil and Nick over at the Fig Cave podcast, since they talk about figs on the reg. So the rest of our categories switch over to wrestling. We had return of the year or comeback of the year. The nominees were Damage Control, the Elite after their suspension, Bailey returning from injury, Johnny Gargano, Paige returning to wrestling, Bray Wyatt returning to WWE, and Cody Rhodes returning to WWE. Only 3 of these got votes. Paige returning to wrestling got 5%. Bray returning to WWE got 15%, and Cody back to WWE was the biggest surprise. Well, the biggest return of the year, according to you. 80% of the vote. My question for you guys on this one, if people were more satisfied with Bray's return, because Cody essentially came back, fought Seth Rollins, got hurt, went away. Bray, a lot of people don't like the way his storyline is going so far, or that it's just been too much. It's been too long of a
Right.
of a build up.
Mhm.
I wonder if that number changes if the story is a little bit different.
What was the other one? Bray, Cody, and what was the other one with votes?
Paige returning.
Yeah, so
Correct.
like what's funny is, I mean, she's probably the least, but like all three of those were kind of expected / rumored, where like Damage Control coming back at SummerSlam, like no one saw that coming.
Right.
Bailey coming out that night, no one really saw that coming. Like eventually she was going to come out, but I guess you didn't know when and stuff like that. So, I mean, the Cody and the Bray obviously have the biggest impact on the business,
Right.
just depending on what they decide to do with Bray at some point, as it's like a slow burn, and then Cody quickly getting injured and missing most of the year.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was just a way though. Like, I mean, you come back at WrestleMania with
Right.
his symbol covering the whole screen and his music that he had in AEW, and even the ring announcer doing the same, the same thing. So just basically you just transferred the character that he was in AEW into WrestleMania. I think was just a huge moment, and I think
Well,
that's how he got the vote here.
Well, you put him in the right with the right guy for his like
Sure,
first couple matches. Like if you're gonna put it,
and that's like Bray has not been in the ring.
anybody, yeah, it's like Seth and KO seem to be the two guys. Like if you want a storyline to work, it's those two before you build towards a Roman or Brock or whoever it may be.
Right.
Yeah, to your point, I mean, KO made a story where we were excited about, Steve Austin coming out and beating people up and drinking beer, and that was a that was a great time because of the buildup with KO.
Absolutely. Storyline of the year. This one had 5 different things you could vote on. The one with no votes, 2 with no votes, Ric Flair's last match, and Happy Brock. I love this version of Brock Lesnar, but there were so many other things well, you guys understand why that didn't get any votes, because the Forbidden Door got 10 marks. 10% of the vote, 20% went to MJF's title chase. The rest of the votes went to the Bloodline course, right?
Well,
it's hard to beat the Bloodline at anything.
Well, I mean, they are this generation's NWO. I mean, they're there. They are this generation's NWO. I'll say that with full confidence.
Sure, it's must see TV.
Yeah,
even if they don't wrestle, like you just cut an interview.
Right. Roman wasn't even. Well, I just saw a quick clip earlier of Sami Zayn or the Bloodline at MSG at that show at the night after Christmas. I'm not 100% sure if he was there or not, but like the crowd was going nuts, and Roman wasn't even with them. It was the Usos.
Roman's not at like half of the shows anymore.
I was surprised he was not at the MSG show the day after Christmas, because that's like one of their biggest shows of the year.
It wasn't televised.
That's true.
The champ only shows up for TV money.
That's true.
Now, is that the show that the curtain call happened at? It
wasn't a Christmas show, I don't think, but it definitely happened at MSG. I don't think it was a Christmas show though. They're a day after Christmas show. I think that's like a recent, like within the last like 20 years they started doing that.
Oh, okay.
And I think the curtain call was a little bit past that. Kenny, if you're listening, help us out with that. Help us out with that info.
He'll give us some historical.
We'll relay back next week with what actually happened there. Yeah, we're gonna probably repeat this a couple more times with these categories, but hard to beat the Bloodline at anything this year.
Yeah, I mean, and big up to the MJF title chase with the, where he wins the chip and with the mask, he came out with the mask and everything, and the Forbidden Door, I think it was okay. Like, again, this is where, you would get into a debate with folks that regularly follow the other wrestling companies, where they don't think it's a debate of they don't think that you need to build up matches and characters to have a good match. And then there's a school of thought where, yeah, you do, because there's people that don't watch this regularly, and this was their time to introduce these people. And so we had the Forbidden Door, and half the time, for most of us watching it, if you're being real, you didn't know who half the people were.
Yeah.
So you
I
weren't.
mean, the problem with that show was, I mean, obviously, like Kenny was out, Punk was out, Cody had left the company. Like everything kind of, not so much disarray, but like once Cody left, like things changed for AEW over the last 8-9 months. So to like have half their people out, it's kind of hard to have dream matches. So it's still cool to see like them doing a crossover show like that. It makes me think we'll get another one of these in 2023, or maybe they'll do it every other year, hopefully, to where you can have these things, or I mean, people could just show up at the Kingdom show in like a week or whatever. But with the way Japan's travel restrictions still are, kind of hard to have that happen still.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It's just the execution.
Yeah, if you don't have all your major players, it's hard to pull that off. So.
Yep, 100%.
And Flair's last match, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's sad. I was at Flair's last match. I was at Forbidden Door, and I was at SummerSlam. So
Wow.
I went to too much wrestling this year, and I don't feel like I went to any.
Yeah. You got to get that Mania ticket, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't bought my ticket yet either, but
we'll figure that out.
Yeah,
maybe.
Absolutely. All right, on to the next category. It was premium live event or pay-per-view of the year. We got AEW Double or Nothing, AEW All Out, AEW and New Japan Forbidden Door, AEW Full Gear. Then we just went with the big ones for WWE. We got Hell in a Cell, Survivor Series, War Games, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, and Royal Rumble. And then you guys could write one in if you wanted to. There was no write-ins. Let's see here. We got 5% of the vote for SummerSlam, Forbidden Door, Double or Nothing, and Royal Rumble. 10% for Full Gear, Hell in a Cell, and Survivor Series War Games. 50% of the vote, and your winner of the premium live event or pay-per-view of the year for 2022, the Runny goes to WrestleMania. I don't even remember WrestleMania. Is that bad?
Yeah. Well, I thought about that when I was reviewing the predictions for last year. I was like, damn, that's what happened at WrestleMania. Like, obviously WrestleMania gets an extra like rub because it's 2 nights, and the Saturday thing helps. Like, I mean, SummerSlam was actually a really good card this year.
Sure.
I know, like looking at it going in, people were kind of on it, but once that show actually happened, really good. There were some really good AEW shows, but like it would be 1 or 2 really good matches, and then you wanted to fall asleep because they were 4 hours long. So that didn't help. But
or me, I went to the movie theater for most of these, and I'm sitting in the movie theater with some people, and it's a good thing I have that that plan where you get the large popcorn refill for free, so that helps out. But yeah,
randomly off topic, is your Cinemarks doing that again?
Yes.
Wow, mine aren't. No free refills on the large popcorn right now. It was like a COVID thing.
Even with Movie Club?
Even with Movie Club.
Wow.
I'll have to double check. We're going to see Avatar tomorrow night, so I'll have to double check.
All right. Yeah, no, the free refill.
Yeah, like I don't remember a lot of these pay-per-views, to be honest with you. Like I remember the big moments. But like if somebody randomly asked me who won the Royal Rumble in 2022, I don't think I can remember that.
Yeah.
Who the fuck was it? Was it Brock?
It is Brock.
Okay.
So yeah, and then
then I said that, right? And I'm like, oh man, it bothers me. What'd you say, DJ?
And Ronda, right? I think Ronda.
Yeah. Yep.
Women. Yep.
Man, it's almost Royal Rumble season again. Man, my buddy who lives out in LA texted me the other day about how many more days there are to WrestleMania, and I'm like, oh boy, I don't have my plane ticket booked. I don't have a ticket to the show yet. I don't have a place to stay. I got to get on the ball here. So after first of the year, that's I got to pay off some Christmas paying fours, and then we'll jump to WrestleMania paying fours.
Yeah, paying fours.
Hey, there's a good chance, like with not to get off subject, but Southwest is taking a beating this week. They may just be giving away some cheap tickets to
That's
try
a
to
good
try
call.
to help some people not feel so against
bad
them
on the brand there.
Yeah, that's a good call. Mike Lanham coming in clutch.
Yeah, because I was just in LA, and those big, they have these big digital boards in Inglewood now that have all the commercials and everything, and tell you what's going to be at the Forum and tell you what's going to be at SoFi. And yeah, they do, like your buddy probably, because they have the countdown on those digital boards, so that comes up while you're at a red light. So
nice. He's keeping me in the loop of everything that's going on out there, and talking about what he wants to do while we're out there, or while I'm out there. So the tough part is, we're getting totally off topic here, but the tough part is like, I've only been to LA once, and like while I'm out there, I want to see other LA stuff. Like I don't want to just dedicate the whole week to WrestleMania. Like there's other cool stuff out there, obviously. So, but it might be a whole week of WrestleMania. We'll see. And then I have to make an excuse to go back out there. So with the wife next time, because we went last time she came with me, and we had a fucking blast out there. We loved it. So
just hit Anaheim, hit Disneyland, you'll be good.
Yeah, that might be next, man.
Or just wait for Simpsons to open at Universal, or not Simpsons, Nintendo. Even though LA's only getting like the small version compared to Orlando, but that's probably like 3 to 5 years away, it seems.
That's gonna be awesome. I cannot wait for that. Cannot wait. But Mario movie is gonna be awesome too. Anyway, this is a topic for another show. Match of the year. Let's get to that. There was a lot, so we'll just do the ones that got voted. 5% of the vote went to Usos versus New Day at Day 1 Premium Live Event. I believe that's when the Usos took the title and basically held it all year long. Then we had Orange Cassidy versus Will Ospreay at AEW Forbidden Door. That got 10% of the vote. 15% of the vote went to Sheamus versus Gunther at Clash at the Castle. Third, then there was a tie. 35% of the vote for FTR versus the Briscoes in the dog collar match, and Seth Rollins versus Cody at Hell in a Cell. Both of those getting 35% of the vote.
Wow.
You can't argue with either one of those. The FTR Briscoes dog collar match, I actually went back and watched after all the hype of it from Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor, and that was just that's probably the best dog collar match I've ever seen.
A hell of a match, yes. And I was kind of surprised. No vote for the acclaimed and Keith Lee and Swerve match was, I think, so underrated. Like I think that was an excellent match.
It's hard to get people to vote for Keith Lee anything. even though like those like Divakovic matches like could have been some of the best matches from previous years.
Correct. Yep.
There's a lot to choose, like a lot to go up against this year too.
Yeah, there's a lot of matches.
But I got no problem with either one of those. The Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes match is great too.
Yep.
And then you throw in the fact that Cody's doing everything with the torn pec too. It's like that's you got to.
I want to figure now with the bruise, with the bruise pec.
You gotta. That's going to happen eventually.
I've seen a lot of customs of that. I want like Mattel to do it. I'm not a huge custom guy, so I want Mattel to do it.
Right.
It's going to look great. If they do
what
it.
Else? Let's see. Like we kind of had the Liv, and because a big moment for Liv Morgan there at SummerSlam to beat Ronda.
Yep.
The Orange Cassidy Will Ospreay match also was an excellent match.
Spots, but it's a really good match.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, it was tough to nail these down and just go with one. You know what I mean? Like it tough to vote for this category. There's a lot of good choices in this one. That brings us to Tag Team of the Year. We had RK Bro, the Street Profits, the Young Bucks all getting 0 votes. The votes went to 3 teams. I'm actually surprised the Briscoes didn't get a vote, because a lot of people, especially people that love like AEW and stuff, dig them. But the Acclaimed got 10% of the vote. Huge year for the Acclaimed.
Sure.
FTR got 35% of the vote, and the Usos got 55% of the vote. this is a big debate here, whether, you know, the Usos, FTR, Briscoes, those are supposed to be the 3 best tag teams in the world. Usos, man, it's just so hard. Dean Wireman, our social media guy, he is a huge Usos fan. He asked me a while ago if I think the Usos are one of the greatest tag teams of all time, and I said not right now. They are very quickly probably in the top 5, I would say, tag teams of all time. Just they've been irrelevant for over 10 years now. I think they've won the title a bunch of times. They very rarely, I feel like, have terrible matches or bad matches. They're always solid.
Right. And you can even include when they were baby faces, like those were still like, just because they were in the bright colors and everything did not mean that they were not putting out some good matches.
Right. With the face paint and the shiny shorts.
And come out and did the haka and so those matches were good. So yeah, you have to, you know, it is time. Like I'll say this, Dean, it is time to start looking at them in that upper echelon of all-time tag teams for sure.
Nobody's ever going to touch Legion of Doom, but I think Usos are getting very close. I know Mike has a strong opinion on that, but
yeah. Well, I heard the growl there.
Mike's Team Demolition.
The Usos can wrestle. Demolition couldn't.
Aren't you Team Demolition though?
Yeah, well, not Demolition, LOD. Like I get like the impact they had, especially as kids, where we were like, oh my God, shoulder pads and
spikes,
makeup and spikes and motorcycles and but
a puppet.
Dangerous in the ring. But I get it. I get why there's a lot of people like that. Like,
dude, the Ultimate Warrior is one of the worst wrestlers in the history of our great sport. But he's people will put him in their top 5. So
there's a difference between best wrestler and
best gimmick.
Yeah, or most important, or
absolutely. No, anybody got a problem with the Usos being the best team for 2022?
No, I mean they had the belts the whole year, more than maybe they were already the champs at day one. I feel like they had the belts. We're over like 400 days, so so it's more than that. Like the Briscoes, like you said, that surprises me because they won the Crockett Cup. I know that's not quite the thing it used to be, so few people saw that, but that dog collar match, like you said, great. But yeah, I mean, and then like Bowens wasn't he out for a little while injured? And I mean, obviously he stayed on TV and they brought in Billy Gunn, so that helped a lot to that gimmick. But yeah, it's how you can vote for anybody but the Usos.
That's another great point, is that they made Billy Gunn relevant again.
Right.
Acclaim.
Oh man.
I mean, you're signing all these people to AEW. You might as well find a way to use them, and he's probably one of the biggest things they've had. So
I gotta give him credit, man. Like, he's, for the age he is and the way he's still moving and the way he looks, I gotta give Billy Gunn some credit here.
I just read something. He's the same age as somebody. I might have talked about this on the pod, and I forget who it is. But if you look at the two of them, you're like, holy shit, how are these two people the same age?
Right.
I forget who it was, but
I do too, but I remember that, yeah. And then just kind of going down the list here, like kind of like, you know, what you're saying here, Mike. Like, so you had the Acclaim where they couldn't quite do it the whole year like the Usos did because you had an injury. RK Bro, pretty much the same thing. Like you had, you know,
what I say, Orton's been out for quite a while.
That's it.
They had the belts for a while, but then Orton's been out also. So,
and I just don't think the Young Bucks are in the same category as pretty much every tag team on the rest of the list. Like, they would not.
No, they're entertaining and it helps for the company and what they do for that company. But yeah, they're not on the same level as any of those other 3 teams.
All right, next category. We got 2 left. Female Superstar of the Year. This one had another long list of nominees. A lot of good women wrestlers this year. However, we'll just count the ones that got votes.
All right.
5% for Suri from Stardom.
Okay.
5% for Britt Baker. DJ's pissed about that.
No,
This is
Get
kind of
5%.
This is kind of surprising. 20% for Thunder Rosa. And then
she had the belt for the first half of the year, right? So
yeah, that's true. That's
till
she got hurt,
she
yeah.
got hurt, yeah.
pregnant. And then it was a tie for the winner, another tie
All right.
between Mandy Rose and Bianca Belair. Now, would Mandy
right.
Rose be in? They both got 35% of the vote. If Mandy Rose didn't get naked, would she be in the female superstar of the year?
I mean, she would have had the belt the entire year. When did Bianca win it? SummerSlam? Or did she already have it?
Didn't she lose it at SummerSlam and then win it at WrestleMania?
No, she fought Becky at SummerSlam.
Okay.
Was Becky the champ? No. Shit, I don't remember. And I was
don't either.
That's funny. But yeah, well, Mandy. So one thing you got to give to Mandy, and I'm gonna even go beyond the OnlyFans thing.
I would love to give something to Mandy.
Yeah.
Is that like take a look at how many women now are wearing like the booty short kind of thing in the ring after basically after her, and then the and how like she had an impact. Like I mean, she did.
I'm surprised that Liv Morgan didn't get votes. Like I wouldn't put her as wrestler of the year, but she had a good year. Like
yeah, she
especially
really
to
did.
see where it came from in the last probably 2 years. That's a huge leap.
Yeah, Becky got no votes. Bailey got no votes, which is kind of surprising. Jade,
Bailey's only been back for 3 months, and all she's done is lost to Bianca.
True. Jade got no votes. That's kind of surprising because there is a good amount of people that like her. Mickey James got no votes, and that's it. So Mickey James has actually had a really good year too, even though it's like her like goodbye year. But
problem is she's
out like that.
Impact in NWA, like no one sees it. So
right.
So true.
I mean,
was she in the Rumble? Was that that was this year?
That was this year.
They called her.
Yep.
They called her they didn't say Knockouts champion. I think they said Impact women's champ or whatever, but they still acknowledged she had that belt. So
yep,
she did some things.
Absolutely.
On the Stardom champ got some votes. So.
1 vote or 5% of the vote, not 1.
Yeah,
5%. So 5%. So
more stuff that people just don't see. So too much wrestling.
There is a lot.
You're never going to see it all. There's no way.
No, it's like trying to go to Disneyland in one day.
Right. Last category, male superstar of the year. No surprise here. But Jon Moxley got 5% of the vote. Seth Rollins got 15% of the vote. MJF 15% of the vote. And your winner of male superstar of the year. Any guesses? 65% of the vote.
Kevin Owens.
No, it is
Hathaway.
Yeah. Brandon Cutler. No, it is Roman Reigns. 65% of the vote. I mean, again, you cannot compete with the bloodline. Seth Rollins had a great year.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins had probably one of the best years in wrestling.
Yep.
But just the bloodline, anything the bloodline touches right now is gold.
There's a few guys like.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, so MJF had a hell of a year.
Yep.
Moxley had a hell his other Shield mates had good years, and it was still just could not be.
Finn Balor had a good year.
So like he's got
Judgment Day was about to be scrapped, and he kind of they kind of gave it to him, and it's been his thing, and
it's working.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that is it for the 2020 Runnies. We'll just run through them, no pun intended, one more time. Male superstar of the year, Roman Reigns. Female superstar of the year, Mandy Rose and Bianca Belair. Tag team of the year, the Usos. Match of the year, FTR versus the Briscoes and Seth Rollins versus Cody. Premium live event of the year was WrestleMania. Storyline of the year is the Bloodline. Return of the year, Cody to WWE. Toy line of the year, WWE Mattel Ultimate Edition. And independent toy line of the year, Zombie Sailor Toys. So thanks to everybody who voted. I hope you guys enjoyed doing this little part of our year-end show. Just want to do a couple housekeeping things here real quick before we jump into our bold predictions for 2023. Want to welcome new member to the Patreon, Jamal Paul. He joined today. He's a longtime Fig Cave member and finally decided to jump into the Patreon. So thank you and welcome. And you guys can join the Patreon over at patreon.com/runinpod. Just got to give out a shout out to our sponsors since we don't really have any segments this week. Homage, you guys can pay homage over at runinpod.com. Hit the link under deals, and you guys can use the Runnin Pod code to save 15% on your first order. And then, of course, Wrestling Collector Shop. You guys can use the code RUN10 for 10% off at WrestlingCollectorShop.com. Major Bendies, they were one of our nominees for Independent Toy Line of the Year. They got 25% of the vote. They are available. The Next Wave is available there, and the Chelsea Green exclusive is available at WrestlingCollectorShop.com, and you can use the code RUN10 for 10% off. All right, Mike, you're up. Give us our predictions that we screwed up for 2022, and then we'll make some dumbass predictions for 2023.
Yeah, I mean, just it's always fun to go back and see these because it's like what a year, but all it takes is an injury or someone to change companies or get fired or someone to run a company. So anything's possible. So we'll start with the Royal Rumble because that's in January. It's like Tom said, coming up pretty soon. Tom, do you remember who you picked to win the Royal Rumble?
I have no idea.
All right. Well, you picked Drew, and then you changed your mind and said Seth, and then you said KO. Final answer. All three wrong. DJ also said KO, and I said Walter, who isn't even called Walter anymore. And Brock actually ends up winning the Rumble after losing earlier in the night to Bobby Lashley.
Right.
Okay. You want to take a guess on who you picked to win the Women's Royal Rumble?
I'm going to say I picked Becky Lynch.
You picked Bailey, who didn't show up to SummerSlam. DJ?
Was that crazy enough to pick Ronda?
Oh, we can say crazy, but you go to the other end of the spectrum.
All right. So
Victoria.
Let's see. Oh God. No, I don't remember who I picked.
You picked Doudrop.
Oh my God.
The drop.
Let's hope when they bring her back to TV that they change her gimmick. It's still yet to happen. I picked Alexa Bliss. Rousey ended up winning when she threw out Charlotte. I think Bianca and Shayna might have been the other final four, but yeah, none of us were even close. So for the Mania main event, Tom picked Roman and KO, half right. DJ picked Roman and KO, half right. I picked Brock and Walter. I guess that's technically half right because Brock fought Roman.
Right.
And there's rumors of that match happening this year at WrestleMania.
Yeah, there are rumors of that.
Yeah, because it took me a second because Brock beat Big E at day one. Then he lost the belt to Bobby. Then he won it back, I guess, at Elimination Chamber. And then they did title versus title at Mania. So for women's main event, Tom picked Bailey and Liv. Nope. DJ picked Doudrop and Charlotte. Is that who Rousey fought? Charlotte. So I guess it's half. I picked Bliss and Bailey. Like we said, Bailey didn't come back until SummerSlam. And then the other women's main event was Bianca and Becky. Let's see. Then we jump to AEW. Who would leave for WWE? Ooh. I picked Brian Cage. He's still there. I think he's doing more Ring of Honor than anything. Still think he should probably leave. Tom couldn't come up with anything, so he agreed. Brian Cage. DJ went with Orange Cassidy, who is he still the champ? No, he just lost the belt, right?
He just lost it, yeah.
Yeah. I can't help
in one of the many titles that are on the show.
Right. And then Let's see. We threw out some, obviously some bold,
Our
semi-bold
bold
type.
prediction.
Yeah. Let's see. DJ started us off with the Street Profits would split.
Oh,
Still together. They were actually out for a little while. I think Montez got hurt, and they just kept the other one off.
that
I
was
think
like
I was
a
close
big,
on that one.
Yeah, sort of. I hated that they kept him off TV because the other one was out. It's like, yeah, you can do singles matches. You do it with the New Day.
Right.
But yeah.
That was a big one for a while where people thought that was actually going to happen.
The problem was Montez going out injured. So
Yeah, I think that
if it
kind
had
of
been the
ruined it
other way
for him.
around, maybe. But hopefully, we'll see. Maybe that happen this year if they really want to push them. So, so let's see. I think Keith Lee had just recently been released. Tom said he was going to be the new Ryback. I kind of think that's right.
I think you
I
might have
got
got that one. Yeah.
I got one.
He debuted February 9th, so about a little over a month after we taped this. And I said this because I think we were discussing Keith Lee and we brought up carrying Cross, and I said the smart thing would be for Cross not to be like Ryback so that maybe he could be rehired, which actually worked out for him. Let's see. Tom said Flair would have one more match. God damn it, Tom.
Hey,
That's true.
I said Kurt Angle would wrestle probably for AEW. Neither one of those things happened.
But he did appear on WWE TV.
He did. DJ said Mia Yim would return to Impact. That happened.
Yep.
Let's see. I said Okada would show up in AEW. Technically, that happened with Forbidden Door.
Right.
Nikki Cross would go back to her sanity gimmick. I might have got that in right at the buzzer.
Yeah, I think that I think that counts.
Yep. DJ said that Asuka was going to go back to her Kana gimmick. That also looks like it's going to happen last minute. I said Ty Conti needs to turn on Anna Jay. That kind of happened, but not really. They're together now.
I was about to say they're a tag team.
Yep. I said Vince McMahon would sell the WWE because that was a rumor going around with Nick Khan and some other stuff, but I don't think we were predicting quite what happened.
No, but that's very close.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like us predicting Brian Cage would jump to AEW. Who knew it would be the face of AEW, Cody Rhodes? I said so when we recorded this, that same week was I think when Tony Storm quit WWE.
That's true.
But I predicted that Liv and Tony Storm would both win singles titles. That actually ended up working out.
Yep, that happened.
All right. We all said Bailey would return by Mania. That was wrong. It didn't happen until SummerSlam.
I feel like around this time of year, though, it was like she could be coming back. She could be coming back.
Well, there was like these workout video, but we see it with Charlotte. And we see it with Sasha. So like, you never know when this stuff's going to happen. All right. DJ said Big E would have a long title reign. He lost the belt about 3 days after we recorded.
And broke his neck.
That also happened. Tom said Ty Conti would have a would have a title run. I don't think she won a belt. I said Britt Baker would have a long. Yeah, I said Britt Baker would have a long title run. She had the belt, but she lost it pretty quickly. Thunderdome returns. That did not happen.
I said that?
No, I said that.
Oh.
Because I thought with like there was some shutdown stuff kind of brewing that it might happen again in 2022. We lucked out on that. So I said Roman would stay undefeated all of 2022.
There you go.
So I think that was the last bold prediction. And then the rest of them were true or false. So MJF will win the belt. Tom said true. DJ said false. I said true. Bray Wyatt will go to AEW. Everyone said false. I said it was possible, but I didn't know. Gargano to AEW. We all said false. CM Punk will win the title. We all said false. That was true. Daniel Bryan will win the AEW title. Tom and DJ said true. That has yet to happen. I said false. Xavier Woods would win a singles title. No,
King of the Ring count.
Was that last year? He got injured. He like tore his patella. What's the muscle under your calf? Not Achilles.
Patella tendon.
Whatever he did, he was out for half the year. They did win the tag titles. Goldberg will have a match in 2022. Did that happen? Did he have a match this year?
I don't think he did.
I feel like this was the year we didn't have a match.
I was about to say, I don't think so either. I think there was a threat of him having a match.
The threat was Tom said yes, you said yes, and I said false.
No.
Kurt Angle will have a match. I said true. You guys said false.
Hold on one second. I got it here.
All right, what you got?
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
Wait, no. Elimination Chamber 2022. We last saw the 55-year-old superstar square off against Roman Reigns for the undisputed Universal Championship at WWE Elimination Chamber 2022.
Yuck. I don't even remember that.
I don't either.
God, we probably thought Roman was losing.
Was that right around when Brock walked off because Vince retired?
No, Brock was in the chamber because he threw
stepped down
Austin Theory off. Well, he was a surprise, right?
Yeah.
I don't think originally he was supposed. I can't remember. That was months ago.
Did Kevin Owens get injured right around then?
Not sure.
I feel like he was supposed to like. I think there was somebody.
Podcast.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like somebody else.
I told you I couldn't remember who won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, yeah. I think somebody else was supposed to be in that match, and then Brock was in the or Goldberg was in the bullpen there.
Kenny, help us, please.
All right, and then last couple. Paige will return to the ring. We all said true.
Yep.
Trish Stratus will return. We all said true. She did show up, but she didn't wrestle. No, because she wasn't in the Rumble. That was just Mickey. Samoa Joe will return. We all said true. It was AEW, and then Raw will go back to 2 hours. We all said false, and we still haven't got our wish.
It ain't happening.
Can I read real quickly, because we were talking about people jumping to AEW or vice versa, the list of all the people that went to AEW this year from WWE.
Do it.
All right.
So Jake Atlas, Keith Lee, Buddy Matthews, Swerve, Jeff Hardy, William Regal, Tony Storm, Samoa Joe, Stokely Hathaway, Athena / Ember Moon, Claudio, Parker Bordeaux, Paige, Renee Paquette. I don't know that I count that as that. Jeff Jarrett. Yeah, that's it. But that's still a lot.
That's quite a few.
So all those people went from WWE to AEW, and I think all we got was Cody from AEW to WWE.
Yeah. I got some predictions for this year though that kind of go to that.
All right. Let's start with those before we go with the list I got.
I think Rusev goes back to WWE. I don't think that's a bold prediction. I think that's just like a matter of time.
No, that's on my list. I could see it. If I had to pick an AEW person to jump ship or that just wants out, you would think it's him.
I would think
and I've even seen him
too.
He's even mentioned, I saw where he said he wasn't going back, but I get that's pregnant wife. But I saw Miro, I think, say something about he thought Lana would go back to WWE. I'm like, why would she go back with the money she's probably making from her OnlyFans type thing? But maybe he's saying it as part of him going back.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm going to have to give that a thumbs up as well.
Yeah. That's not a very bold prediction. That's like, that's a safe bet. But I'll put the Sean Spears under that list too. Going back.
Ooh. Yeah. Is he going to have but with the chairman kind of gimmick?
I don't know. I don't know.
Problem with him is like I see he could get over for like the initial impacts coming back, but I just don't see it being a lasting
mid Carter.
It would be Karrion Kross like.
Trying to think. bold prediction. I think Rey Mysterio retires before the end of the year, and
Okay.
Dominic turns face and starts wearing the mask and is the new Rey Mysterio.
Interesting.
I think it's the only way he's getting over outside of this current gimmick, and that's only because Rhea is carrying that.
Yeah, no, Rhea makes it very interesting.
I loved him saying the other day that he would not make it in jail. Or he's not built for jail or whatever he said. Like, oh, that's
well, he kind of I think he kind of took a homage to if you remember, like one of the scenes I became a Rock fan was when he was getting arrested, and he's like trying to get the guys not to arrest him, and he's like, "Oh, come on, I got 3 of the People's Jellies donuts right over there. If you just let the Rock go, you know." So I was in the living room hollering. I was like, "Okay, I'm a fan of this guy now." So I think he was trying. I think that's what Dominic was going for there.
Go ahead, Mike. What was the next thing you had?
I'm trying to think. I know we had like the Forbidden Door thing with AEW. I think something like that happens with WWE this year.
Yeah.
I think one of their major guys, whether it be like an Okada or a Bushi or somebody like that, I think shows up in WWE, even if it's a one-off or even if it's like a Rumble entrance. I would not be surprised to see, especially with Triple H in charge now.
Yeah,
I could see them open it. They've got plenty of guys to fill a men's and women's Rumble, but I'd like to see somebody like that to maybe, because they, like, you had the Breeze and Jushin Thunder Liger match that one time. You could do that with somebody that just needs a Mania match.
And isn't Nakamura doing something with
right? Yeah. And that's what makes me think they could be open to it. I know it's part of Muda's like retirement type thing, but yeah,
they're allowing him to do it. So yeah, I kind of see. I think we'll get an event. I think we'll get an event from WWE this year that will have like from other people, other promotions in it.
A Forbidden Door style.
Yes. Yeah, because kind of tagging along with what Mike was saying with Ray, I can even see like them doing something with AAA. Because with Ray's retirement, that would be kind of dope, actually. And then
that would be good.
Yeah, and then crowning Dominic, the Mysterio, the new Mysterio.
I would not be surprised if they stretch out, because it's not like Ray's currently, look at him, he's not really fighting a lot. I don't know what injury or real injury he has, but like at some point he hangs it up. But he could be one of those guys that they let wrestle into his late 40s, 50s. I don't know how old Mysterio is, but
yeah, he's got to be 50.
Age, so yeah.
He's got to be 50 something.
I got one that kind of goes. I actually got 2 here that kind of go with what we were talking about. One of them was Stardom takes part in Forbidden Door, and they kind of do a female version of Forbidden Door because AEW's female roster is kind of struggling as it is.
They got a lot of women, but they could fill a card.
They need good women.
Yes, well, they'll just throw them together. They don't care.
Yeah. And then my other bold prediction here was NWA either folds or merges with Impact. I think I see them merging more than folding.
I mean, some of those people go back and forth.
Right.
It would be smart for business, but it seems like they get away with the little bit that they do now. But
I don't even know how NWA stays in business.
Dude, I went to that Crockett Cup show, and show was good, but like there was no one there.
Right.
Which is crazy. They've got some good talent on that roster.
Yeah.
Well, that's like Nick Aldis. Like, I don't know if the contract thing was real, if they were just trying to like bring hype to it so that would be a storyline or whatever. Like, I could see him showing up in WWE. I could see him in AEW. I don't know that he's the name that would get over enough in WWE to be something, unless they just found a way to really like just push him. But I don't know that enough of the crowd would care.
Right.
So to go with your Stardom thing, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a WWE Women's Evolution pay-per-view again. I think it's been enough years, and they've got enough people. They could have another one of those, especially with Hunter in charge again.
Yeah,
Right.
very
But
true.
how about Toxic Attraction gets moved to the main roster? But I think they're gonna I think they'll put them with somebody like Carmella. If Mandy's not coming back, I could see them not just being a tag team. I think the trio thing kind of works for them.
Trios work in the women's division, I think.
Well, Carmella's out, so it would be a good thing for her, and she would fit right in.
Right.
If you wanted to give her something different or new,
I could see that. Absolutely.
I think this is. I think Montez gets a push this year. I think he built himself up, as we've been seeing, and like physically is what I'm saying. So I think he gets that push this year.
All right.
right?
I got one more. Sorry.
Go ahead.
My last one is just Cesaro wins the AEW championship.
Ooh.
All right. Well, that'll fold into one of my true or false questions here in a second. So, all right. Yeah, I could see it. They may be satisfied with him just being that irrelevant ROH title. I think it depends on what they do when this ROH monthly streaming show comes around, whatever they're about to do. So I don't know what viewership they're expecting out of that, and how much of it once they start doing that, if they're going to totally take ROH stuff off of AEW TV. So that could hurt them a lot. I don't know.
True.
Because you got so many guys like Samoa Joe and stuff that's representing these titles, but
they're big names. Yeah.
Right. Well, you got to put these belts on people the fans are going to care about. Hopefully it builds enough of a ROH following that you can put it on lesser guys and newer talent, eventually rebuild it. But I think Tony Khan just wanted to buy it, maybe for the footage more than anything, or just had too much money to spend.
And have that ROH merch when from the people that that fan base that goes to AEW shows definitely are going to buy some ROH merch as well.
Right. All right. So, let's do what we did last year. Who wins? We'll start with Tommy. Who wins the men's Royal Rumble?
Let's go with the safe bet here. Tozawa. No. I think you got to go Cody.
Yeah. TJ.
The Rock. No, I'm gonna also go. I'm also gonna go Cody.
I was thinking The Rock, honestly. Like I was going back and forth between The Rock and Cody, but I think you got to go Cody.
Yeah. I don't know that it could be.
There's too much of a.
It's the only two people you could think of it being. At this point.
Because it's like I fully expect seeing The Rock at WrestleMania. So we'll see how that goes, but yeah, safe bet right now is
so we all agreement Cody and Roman
at Mania.
Yeah. And
for
is it for
for
belts?
One of the titles?
Is it for one? Yeah, I don't understand how it can only be for one title. Like, how's Cody gonna go? I just want that one. Like, I don't know how they're gonna split titles.
Right.
I mean, I know there's talk of a draft happening, but that's usually after Mania.
Right.
If you bring The Rock in, is he saying I only want one title? It doesn't make sense.
Very interesting.
I don't know how it happens.
Yep. Very interesting.
I'm gonna say somehow, some way, it still ends up being The Rock versus Roman at Mania for both belts.
Either that or Roman loses one at Royal Rumble, like one of the titles at Royal Rumble.
I just don't know how you split the belts after you put them together. It's just even if you put Roman in the Rumble and you make it for the belt, but then that would be a way to lose it. But I feel like he's gonna fight KO at the Rumble.
Yeah, we'll see. Like it's made for actually a good storyline just from from dirt sheets and guesses already.
Right. All right. So who wins the women's Rumble?
Oh,
I'm going Bailey.
Oh, I was gonna go Bailey too.
That's what I was thinking, but I hate the idea of her fighting Bianca again, but
Again.
I don't really see her fighting Ronda either.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very hard. Like I feel like it's impossible to pick somebody else. Like I don't think they would have Charlotte win it again because if she's
Right.
ready to come back, because people were not happy that she won it the last time.
No.
Let's just give it to Emma.
Yeah, hell yeah. You know I'm all for that.
All right. So if we all pick Bailey, is she fighting Bianca? Is Bianca dropping the belt? Is it I see it being
I'm going out on a limb.
Has Becky ever won the Rumble?
I don't think she has.
No? Let's see. Since they've had the women's.
I'm picking Becky because I think Becky will fight Rousey. Because I don't want to see Becky and Bianca again. Or you could find a way to get Charlotte in there and then you get
Charlotte against Bianca.
Right. Or they can merge the women's titles.
I'm going on a limb.
Okay.
It's going to be Bailey and Liv Morgan in the main event at WrestleMania. Or not the main event, but for the title at WrestleMania. I'm going bold here.
Going bold. All right, not the evil Oscar. No.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, it could be her too.
Because she might come in and start wrecking shit. Like,
no, I'm going Bailey. I'm going
All
Bailey and Liv for the for it.
Wow.
I'm gonna change it. I'm going with Becky versus she'll win and then she'll fight Rousey. I don't like Rousey being the champ, but wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't keep it for a while. Till Charlotte comes back.
Let's see.
SmackDown doesn't really have.
Or what if we go what's right now her part Blaze yeah.
Shayna Baszler?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Nah. I mean, if that's your prediction, that's your prediction, but
put that match on.
And then she goes against Ronda at WrestleMania.
Put that on the undercard.
Yeah, that's some pre-show bullshit.
Man, he put it right on the pre-show.
Well, I mean, if that's the match, that's pre-show. 100% pre-show.
All right. Do we want to pick somebody to jump ship from
AEW or from?
We did AEW to WWE, which we could do again, but we didn't.
We can pick somebody other than Rusev. Yeah.
Because how about somebody from WWE to AEW? Is there
WWE.
somebody we think will once out or will get released this year that like is Riddle going to shoot himself in the foot to the point they cut him?
My guess was going to be, for a second here while we were talking about it, was going to be Karrion Kross. But then I'm thinking WWE knows what they have with, I think, Scarlett just being like eye candy. And like, I think they would keep him to keep Scarlett, if that makes sense. So I think it's going to be
Velveteen Dream.
Boy.
No, he's jumping from cell A to cell B. I just had somebody in mind and I freaking lost it. DJ, give yours while I try to pull my memory
I'm trying
back
to think of it myself here, because that's a good question. Because you got to.
I can't think of any main event guys. Like I could see them cutting when they start cutting people, like somebody like Otis or.
That's it. Yeah, I was thinking of the Alpha. Yeah.
Yeah,
they
like
cut
I could see
partner.
I could
right?
see either one of them showing
Right.
up in AEW if they got cut.
They cut Tozawa, right?
No, he's been doing that like.
I mean, not Tozawa. Tucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You know who I'm going to say gets cut? I don't even know how to say his name. Ilja Dragunov or whatever. Or what the fuck's his name? Javakovic or whatever.
And they just brought him back.
Yeah, but I don't. I don't know.
No, it's not. The gimmick's not working for me.
Yeah.
The new look, and they're just calling like they shortened his name. So
Those are my two.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good call.
Ooh, you know who else might be a choice because she's been kind of stupid on her social media lately is Lacey Evans. They could say, you know what, thanks, goodbye.
right.
What we've been doing with you is not working, and then she could go to.
I say her gimmicks have yet to work since they moved her to the main roster.
Right.
I think they should have kept the debutante
Yep.
kind of thing, and her being basically a female MJF, and just kept it like that.
Yeah.
Because she can wrestle.
That's what I'm saying. That was good.
There's so many of these like new NXT people that they're bringing up real quick, and they're actually doing really well in the ring, that easily replacing people.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Zelina Vega jumping ship just because her man's over there.
Yeah, because that gimmick's working better for me than what the fuck's the rap group?
Oh God. Yeah, they can cut both of them.
Cut all of them,
yeah. And let them go over there with Swerve, and they can make the group over there and
Flop Dollar.
There you go. All right.
God.
We'll run through some true or false. You want to start with WWE or AEW?
Let's start with AEW.
All right. Jack Perry, Jungle Boy Jack Perry wins a singles title.
True.
I'm gonna say true. He can win that their version of the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, I was thinking TNT title at some point, or Ring of Honor or something. Especially the way they're pushing them with Hook right now.
I was thinking one of the Ring of Honor ones.
All right, we'll stick with Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus tag up again. I don't know how long. I don't know how long.
Hopefully false.
Yeah, I don't know how long Christian's out, but that just seems so easy. Unless they're getting away from the Jungle Boy thing, which it seems like they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So on the other flip of that, Luchasaurus becomes unmasked, kind of like they just did with 10, where they dropped the mask and went with his real name.
I'll go false on that one too.
I'm gonna go false. Yeah, I don't think that guy is ready to be unmasked.
Too toyetic. They sell too much Luchasaurus shit to just call him.
Nor does he
John.
have that kind of a personality.
Yeah, I mean, big guy. I don't know what he looks like without the mask. I've never looked it up to see. So, all right. CM Punk returns to AEW.
False.
I'm going false.
I'm gonna go true. I think there's too much money to be made. I think I kind of think they're gonna put him with FTR to fight the trios with the elite. Put your differences aside and make that money. Adam Cole announces his retirement.
True.
I'm gonna go false.
From a broken heart because Britt Baker is banging Tony Schiavone.
I think she's definitely banging like some other folks in the back.
Concussion thing is a serious thing, but I'm gonna go false. I think somehow he comes back.
She just had a picture of him on her social media anyway, so I don't think that's actually true. I think they're still together.
Jade loses a match.
True.
Ends in the undefeated streak at some point this year.
True. Oh, Jade. Oh yeah, true.
Jade. Yeah, true. I'm going with true also. I think it's time for that to end. Same thing. Hook. Hook is also undefeated. Hook loses a singles match.
True.
True. He's finally going to wrestle somebody that's not the local talent.
Yeah, I'm going with true also. MJF holds the belt all year.
False. I already said Cesaro's going to win it.
Right.
You know what? For fun, I'm going to say true.
I'm going true. I don't know who. Moxley's already won the belt so many times. Hangman is not good. He's already beat Punk multiple. I don't know who you put it on. Yeah, I think that's it for AEW. Unless you guys can
all right.
think of anything. All right. Well, this one's kind of either side. Did we already say this? Mandy Rose returns to wrestling.
We
anywhere.
I say
True.
true. Yep,
True.
I say
Yeah,
true. It'd probably
I think
even be
before the
WWE.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think before the end of the year, I think she
Yeah,
gets the Jonesing to come back.
I think it'll be WWE too.
All right. Ric Flair. His buddy Triple H is in charge. Ric Flair appears in the 2023 Royal Rumble.
False.
Hopefully false.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going true.
He's just gonna go till he literally dies in the ring. Is what you're saying?
Also, Triple H's boy X-Pac appears in the Royal Rumble.
That could be true.
Keeps saying he wants to have another match.
Right.
I'll say true.
I'm gonna go false.
They have so many spots or people to fill those spots in.
That's what I don't think we're gonna see like
to
the
waste it, but
yeah.
he would get a huge pop. I'm gonna go true. Pat McAfee appears in the Royal Rumble.
True.
I think you got to bring him back to TV now that college is over.
I think that's how you bring him back.
Right. Braun Breaker appears in the Royal Rumble.
True.
Let's go true.
Yeah, true. I think you got to move him from NXT at some point. I don't know if they take the belt off of him at this pay-per-view. I don't like the guys fighting, but wouldn't surprise me. We already all chose Cody. Sasha Banks returns to WWE.
True.
I'm going true also. Steve Austin wrestles in 2023.
True.
False.
I think he's going to wrestle at WrestleMania. If you look at his social media,
he's posting a lot of workout videos.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
He looks trim. I'm going to go with true also. We all think Charlotte's coming back, so that one doesn't matter. Roman Reigns loses both titles.
True.
I think finally true. Yep.
Yeah, I can't. Another year, I just don't see it.
He already had the Hulk Hogan, Bruno Sammartino moment. He's in the history. You did it. Now we can start to build something else now.
All right. Vince McMahon returns to WWE TV.
False.
I'm going to say false.
I'm going false also.
I think he wants to come back, but I think there's so many people that can vote him out.
Correct.
And see how it's going.
No, right.
They're going to be like, nope,
there was a minute Steve Jobs could not do anything with Apple. That's what happens when you have these boards and you are publicly traded. Now you don't have rule like that.
Right? Yeah. See, the thing with Vince is as he gets up in age, when his health starts deteriorating, if it gets to that point, instead of him just one day just dying overnight, he's not gonna want to be on TV. So I think that's why he would push to try to show up beforehand. But yeah, I just don't see it.
Which I think it's already he didn't look that great.
I mean, he's going out
lately.
on dates, so who knows? All right, last couple. So Triple H is in charge now, so things could change. Miss Elizabeth is inducted into the Hall of Fame this year.
Right here in Hollywood, Miss Elizabeth.
Why the fuck is she not in?
Yeah,
and Tori Wilson is.
I love amongst
Tori
others.
Wilson,
yeah,
but I don't understand.
Yeah, amongst others.
Coco Beware's in the Hall of Fame.
I will go true on that.
I'm gonna go true.
Yep, I'm going true also. Well, we brought him up at the beginning. Might as well again. Demolition will be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
False.
Not yet, huh?
They're bitter. I think they're too bitter.
I don't know who their bitterness is towards. And a lot of it's the lawsuit stuff, and now the Vince is out.
Right.
I think it depends on who they have as their
negotiating.
Yeah, their mediator.
Right.
They can push for that.
Jimmy Hart.
Right.
Was it Asylum when Phil and Nick were interviewing them? That said, they weren't going to get into the details of what was going on with Demolition, why Demolition isn't under contract right now, or was it LOD? It might have been LOD.
Yeah, because there's this. I thought Demolition was the whole lawsuit stuff about concussions or injuries.
Yeah, and I feel like they started it or something. There is a very long line of why they don't.
It's just all these guys that needed money to medical costs. That's why they all make the rounds at these conventions. They
Yeah,
can't
right.
afford to make. They're not getting that
Man.
paycheck still from WWE, WWF. All right.
Yeah,
What
you
did
can watch even like when you watch Little Rock. You know, you could see what Rocky Johnson went through, like after he did the show in Saudi Arabia, which Vince didn't like, and then it kind of went all downhill from there. So just like you're saying, like where he was wrestling at, used car lots,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So yeah, it's rough when that check stops coming.
yeah,
It gets a little rough.
yeah.
That's a good time to transition into the last couple. The Rock is inducted into the Hall of Fame this year.
I'm gonna say true. Actually, I think that's a good way to bring him back to Mania.
If you don't put him in the Rumble, I feel like it's a good way to put him on TV. If you start hyping it, and then maybe that could cause a Roman overshadow thing. But I feel like the Rumble has to play into it. But I could see them being it's Hollywood. You could put him in this year.
Who inducts him?
Austin.
Yeah, that was gonna be my guess.
Yeah, that's a good call. Because is Harvey Wimpleman, is he alive?
Yeah, he's the executive producer
Okay.
of Young Rock, I think.
So that would be another call because they're very close. And he's been there the whole time.
That's the problem. Those people would be. There's people who don't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You're just expecting the big names.
Right.
All right. Last two. Wasn't on my list, but I thought about it during this and the Rumble. Matt Cardona returns to WWE.
Oh,
true. I had that on my list of predictions, and I was like, we got too many WWE returns, but I say true.
They'll cut some people to make room.
It's true, and I mean the returns have been happening, so it's not like you are saying something that's out of reach here, because the returns are happening here since Uncle Trips has been in there.
Yeah, I think as long as you keep the brands split, and you still have 3-hour Raws and all that, it's possible. So
you need some stories and you need some action.
Yeah, I think I think there's room for him and as that character. And
now is he Zack Ryder?
No, I think it's Matt Cardona. I think the Ryder thing's done for it. They may mention it, but man, he would be good. Even if you don't put him over, he'd be a good guy to fight Cody.
Sure.
Yep.
If Cody wins the belt, needs somebody to fight that's not Seth or KO.
Right. Something
whatever.
fresh.
So,
yeah.
So, all right, last one.
All right.
I think it's bold, and I think some people are gonna think it'll never happen.
Okay.
Big E wrestles in 2023.
Ooh. Oh man. False.
I'm going true. I think he's gonna be safe and not do dives to the outside, but I think there's a spot for him to. I could see it. I think it may be later in the year. He'd get a hell of a pop at the Rumble, but I just don't think it would happen at the Rumble unless he's winning it. He could be a guy that could take the belt off Roman, but as an individual, he'd be great with Roman. But
I gotta go false on that.
This is the 2023 thing. Because like you're saying, Rumble, that's a little risky because there's a lot of arms and legs flying around. Yeah, that's a tough one, but I don't know if I don't know if he's quite ready for 2023. When we have this show next year and you ask that same question, I think I'll go true. But for this year, I think I'm going to go false.
He's got 12 months. We can go all the way up to this day next year.
I'm still saying no.
I'm going to be different. I'm going true.
All right.
I just.
Which he's incredible. Like it could happen. It could happen.
I just don't see him doing weird dives to the outside, but I think he's a big enough guy that. I mean, that's probably part of why he got injured. That's not a guy that usually gets picked up and thrown over someone's head. So,
yep.
Yeah. he's not likely to take a lot of bumps like that. And if Paige and Daniel Bryan and all these people can come back, why not?
Sure. No,
It's
I'm not
true.
saying it's over. I'm definitely not saying it's over, but I just don't know about 2023 is all.
Sure. All right, that's all I got.
That's all he's got. All right. That was fun. I like doing
That's
this at once a year.
These are
here.
fun, yeah.
Yeah, always a good time. So hope you guys enjoyed it. We're gonna wrap up. Don't forget to hit the sponsors: Homage, Wrestling Collector Shop, shop.figurecollections.com. Join the Patreon over at patreon.com/runinpod. Over at Patreon, we got a giveaway. It is a Johnny Gargano Major Bendy and a King Woods chase and a couple extras because the giveaways the past 2 weeks have not been claimed. So I believe we have a Bret Hart chase that'll go in there and a British Bulldog collector's edition for grabs that'll go into the winner's loot. So it's going to cost me an arm and a leg for shipping, but whatever. We appreciate you, Patreons. So let us know what some of your bold predictions are. You can shoot us over at Twitter, Instagram, any of those social media platforms, the Fig Cave Facebook group, which comes with the Patreon. $1 a month gets you in. You can buy, sell, trade toys, action figures, wrestling figures, any line of figures. Plus, it's just a dope community, 500 or so people in there. And they are all buying, selling, trading, and just talking wrestling. And then we do some other stuff like fantasy football and just shoot the shit and other random topics that come up. So join it. Mike, thanks. We probably wouldn't have done this if you didn't bring it up. So we owe this to you. So we appreciate you jumping on here. I appreciate you guys jumping on late because I had a hockey game. And
no worries.
Well, it's earlier, way earlier for DJ, but a little earlier for Mike. But all right, guys, thank you so much for listening. Happy New Year, everybody. Be safe out there on New Year's Eve. My name is Tommy Paradise.
It's your boy DJ.
And we will talk to you in 2023.